Well, good evening from the RCDE Stadium, where the blue and white of Espanyol stands in defiance of a storm that is gathering below them in the La Liga table. 17 years in this relatively new home, and tonight it feels every inch like a pressure chamber, and there's real pressure on to deliver. 3 games to go, and survival is far from secure for the home side. Espanyol hover just above the drop zone, only on goal difference, glancing nervously over their shoulder after a torrid run since the turn of the year. No wins in 18 in La Liga, and they are in real jeopardy. Their last win came in December 5 months ago against Athletic Bilbao. Since then, it's been a slow slide where they've sleepwalked towards another spell in the Segunda Division, particularly here at home, where the goals have dried up and the defeats have mounted. Manolo Gonzalez, the man who led them back up and kept them up by the narrowest of margins last season, now finds his side fighting to avoid another return to the second tier. This a club of real proud history, 4 Copa del Rey triumphs of course, but chasing real stability at this level still that they haven't been able to grasp since arriving in La Liga. But if Espanyol are looking down tonight, Bilbao arrive glancing upwards. The Lions from the Basque Country, never relegated, steeped in tradition and hunting European football once again for a 3rd successive season. Just a point shy of the Conference League places, though their form has stuttered when it mattered most. 3 wins in 10 and inconsistencies away from home that have kept their surge in check and kept it from being a real turbocharge into those European places. There's a new voice in the dugout too, Edin Terzic, who's only days into the job, a coach of course with Champions League pedigree, now tasked with steadying the run-in and securing a 3rd straight season of European football for Bilbao. He lost his first game against Valencia a few days ago, but this his first trip across Spain away from their habitual home, and you feel Bilbao need a result if they're to keep their bid for Europe on the right tracks. As for Espanyol, 3 changes from a late defeat at Sevilla. Riedel comes in at the back, and Roca and Lozano also recalled into midfield for the home side. So veteran and Serb Marko Dimitrovic starts in goal. He started now all 36 La Liga games for Espanyol between the sticks. El Hilali, Riedel, Cabrera, the Uruguayan veteran, and Romero are the 4 at the back. Gonzalez on Lozano in centre midfield. Sanchez and Roca running the width on the wings. And Exposito alongside top goal scorer Roberto Fernandez. His 6 goals may not break any records this season, but as the top scorer for Espanyol, they have proved vital in what is their accumulated points tally so far this season, as they just begin to nervously look over their shoulder at the perils below them into the final run-in. Make no mistake, make no bounds about it. This a vital game for both of these sides at either end of the table. As for Bilbao, in their classic red and white stripes this evening, they make 7 changes after their defeat to Valencia. 3 of them caused through injury. Nico Williams, Yuri Bashiche and Horan Sunset all miss out with knocks. Thankfully, through the news this week, we've heard that Nico Williams should be fit and ready to bolster Spain's World Cup efforts come the summer, even though he might miss the final knockings of the La Liga season for Bilbao. Alvarez, Grazabal, Oregliza and Guruzeta all drop to the bench as well. Arezzo, Vivian and Boiro come in at the back. Ruiz de Galarreta and Berenguer. And then there's Gomez supplying Inaki Williams up top. Navarro's on the left, Laporte and Simon and Rego, the only players to retain their positions from the start since that defeat to Valencia a few days ago, and how much Bilbao need Inaki Williams to have his shooting boots on this afternoon in what is his 504th appearance for Bilbao. His last 2 goals have come away from home. So 2 teams, different agendas at either end of the table. For Espanyol, it's about survival, scratching and scrapping and clinging on. As for Bilbao, it's about ambition. One last push towards the continental stage. And here we are at the RCDE. Still Espanyol's relatively new home, with everything still on the line, and you feel something has to give at either end of La Liga tonight, as Espanyol just win an early throw-in on the right-hand side, taken short to El Hilali, the Moroccan fullback, who will whip it back in field, as immediately our TV monitors turn to Manolo Gonzalez, who has already had to bring Espanyol back up from the Secunda and kept them up last season. He won't want to repeat that feat. Staring anxiously over their shoulders, only above the dreaded drop zone on goal difference. Espanyol have had a torrid time since the turn of the year in 2026 in their blue and white stripes, as they look to play forward towards the halfway line. And dangerous attack early on, as charging down the right hand side is Sanchez, and he pulls the ball across the penalty area, and it's only last ditch defending back there from Jesus Oreso that turns the ball behind for a corner kick. Espanyol getting their foot right on the pedal from the off. First set piece of the game, and this is where they can really threaten. Set pieces, of course, in the modern game, a real leveller between those at the top of the table and those scrapping at the bottom, and you feel that Espanyol will want to target these sorts of opportunities to really punish Bilbao. And they've got their first dead ball situation, corner kick from the right hand side, a minute and a half in. It's going to be taken by Exposito. He looks at the short option provided to him by Lozano and chooses to ignore him. He'll swing it in right foot into a packed penalty area. It's a Bilbao head that gets there first, and then twisting away and looking to stride forward is Navarro as he carries it down the left-hand side, arms pumping, but he can't get the ball in play in front of the 2 respective managers, and it's going to be a throw-in for Espanyol. 2 minutes in, and this one started at a real rate of knocks, and you can understand why. Tensions and stakes are so high for both of these sides. Very different agendas, of course, going into this one at either end of the table. Espanyol just out of the relegation zone on goal difference. Bilbao, meanwhile, only out of the European places by the same margin. Switch ball over towards the left-hand side by Espanyol. Nodded away back there by Oreso, and then it's worked up the right-hand side towards Williams, and he's worked well down the right flank with Berenguer, and he's swept it in, and Riedel, the German centre-back, takes it away from his goalkeeper Dimitrovic, who was waiting to claim inside his 6-yard box. Headed behind. You can just see Valverde striding across his technical area. So corner kick, Bilbao. It's swung in with pace. Laporte meets the header on the penalty spot, but he can't make anything of it, and Espanyol can survive. Of course, Eden Tertzig, appointed head of Athletic Bilbao just this past month or so. Of course, Valverde will make way at the end of the season, but his job not done yet. He wants to finish on a high, and granting Bilbao their 3rd consecutive European campaign in a row. As Bilbao have the ball at the back, but they've sent it long, looking for the run of Navarro, but it's straight through to Marko Dimitrovic by Emeric Laporte, who of course returned to his habitual Basque region home, Bilbao, where he came through as a kid before, of course, winning absolutely everything there is to win in the English game and the European game with Manchester City. He had a spell in Saudi Arabia before returning to the red and white stripes of Bilbao. His ball forward claimed by Dimitrovic, and it's worked back up the field by Espanyol, and they've won themselves a throw-in on the left-hand side. You can see the real endeavour and purpose that Espanyol have started the game with. Ain't no bones about it. They're no fools. They know exactly the situation they're in. Really need a maximum this afternoon to give themselves a real bit of survival, as it's only half cleared on the edge of the Bilbao penalty area. Wild swipe by Gonzalez from 25-30 yards clears the crossbar. So 0-0, but this one has started with real energy and real purpose from both sides. It's a tempo you feel that both sides can't keep up as the game goes on, but the opening 5 minutes have been great viewing here at the RCDE. 7 changes for Bilbao on that defeat against Valencia a few days ago. Valverde taking no prisoners as it's thumped forward by the Spanish number 1, Unai Simon. And a foul and challenging for the aerial ball is committed by Bilbao, and more specifically Inaki Williams, their captain. So, welcome return to the 11 from him, of course. His brother, a real scare for him against Valencia, picking up that knock, and there was a real peril about it before Bilbao came out afterwards and confirmed it was just a grade A injury, and they do expect him to miss the final knockings of the season and Bilbao's European push. But thankfully for Spain's efforts this summer, he should be back fit and ready to travel to the States for the World Cup. So Bilbao don't look all that convincing at the back as they deal with an Espanyol looping ball forward. They have got it away, but only to halfway, where Gonzalez can pick it up for the home side. Urco Gonzalez on loan from Sociedad. And it's out towards Cabrera, the veteran Uruguayan centre-back. He sends it from left to right, long diagonal, looking for the run of Ruben Sanchez, who's occupying Boiro, the 23-year-old Bilbao left-back. And it's the fullback who can nod the ball out of play for an Espanyol throw-in. But the home side have started by dominating possession. You can certainly see the front-footed start, a real purpose about their play, and looking to drag themselves into a position of safety, and they've worked this well into the midfield. And bursting forward now, here they come with Roca, who worked his way to the edge of the penalty area, and the sweeping effort aiming for the bottom right-hand corner just zips wide. Unai Simon, I feel, had it covered, the Spain number 1, but Espanyol finding pockets of space, and Antoni Roca just whipping one wide of Simon's right-hand post as Espanyol keep firing the warning shots early on. Roca, the 23-year-old winger, lengthy injury has limited his football for the best part of 5 months, from November to February. His first La Liga start this evening since the 2nd of November, and just his second of the season. He wasn't too far away from sweeping home his first senior goal as he scampered up to the edge of the penalty area, but just took the ball wide of Simon's right-hand post. So 0-0 it remains, but it's been a strong start from Espanyol, who really need to take something from this game in order to boost their survival hopes. 12 defeats in 18, 6 defeats in 8 during that run, spared only by 2 0-0 draws. Espanyol, they really have struggled to find the net, and more concerningly, keep the ball out down the other end as Bilbao comes surging forward down the right-hand side through Arezzo. He's tracked all the way back there by Romero, and Romero can get across and block the cross behind for a corner kick. So Bilbao will have their second corner kick from that same right-hand side. Athletic Bilbao, who travel here with similar troubles to Espanyol, just struggling to sprint over the line and really stuttering up to the finish line in search of their European competition. as it's swung in, right-footed, headed away by the blue and white stripes back there. The defenders doing their job all the way to the halfway line. And then it's Roberto Fernandez for Espanyol, who can chase Bilbao all the way back to their goalkeeper, Unai Simon, who takes up possession midway inside his own territory and floats it to the edge of the Espanyol penalty area. Inaki Williams challenging with Clemens Riedel. And it's the big German who can flick the ball away from the Ghanaian striker and out for a throw-in. Level with the edge of the penalty area on the left-hand side. Espanyol 0, Bilbao 0. Espanyol have certainly made a better start to things, but Bilbao just growing back into proceedings as we tick over 10 minutes. Throw-in taken short out towards this near side, the left. Navarro works onto his left foot before delivering. And then out only as far as Inaki Williams, who looks to make his way towards the byline. The ball is ushered across. It comes all the way for Arezzo, who will reload into the penalty area. And the flicked effort came in from Unai Gomez, just shy of the penalty spot. But he sees his header over the crossbar and behind for a goal kick. Well, Bilbao have had to absorb a fair deal of pressure in the opening 10 minutes or so, but just flexing their muscles for the first time in the game in an attacking sense. And it was a measured ball into the penalty area from Jesus Arezzo from the right-hand side. And Unai Gomez got up well, but his glancing header well over the top of Marko Dimitrovic's crossbar. So it remains in deadlock. Espanyol 0, Bilbao 0. Well, Bilbao haven't travelled well of late either. A win against relegation-threatened Alaves, of course a rival of Espanyol, brought to an end a 3-match losing streak at the start of May. And of course it's not going to get any easier from here on in. Their final away game is at the Bernabeu against Real Madrid at the end of May to round the season off away from home. They've conceded the most goals away from their own patch amongst the top 12 in La Liga. Done well to fend off Espanyol's advances so far in the opening 11.5 minutes. Still plenty of time to go in this one. Even start by these two. Bit of a cagey start to proceedings now as Bilbao have just got a foot on the ball for the first time in the game. They're enjoying some relatively safe possession on halfway. Laporte steps forward into the feet of Gomez. Midway inside Espanyol territory. Flows it in towards the penalty area. Cheeky glancing header from Berenguer. Has to be dealt with by Marko Dimitrovic. But it was a brilliant build-up play by Bilbao. Ruiz de la Galarreta could spin out the veteran on this right foot, spotted the run of Berenguer, and it's a lovely improvised effort from the penalty spot. Berenguer just letting it hit his head as he flicks it towards goal, back-facing goal. And Mitrovic has to get down to his left-hand side to turn it behind for a corner. Bilbao's third corner of proceedings, 12.5 minutes gone. Right-footed delivery. Free header in there for Bilbao, and it's not taken. Danny Vivian found himself all alone. Yeah. It was almost an age hanging in the air before Vivian connected his head to it. Didn't get the contact he desired. Headed the ball into the floor, allowed it to bounce, which took all the sting out of it, and allowed Mitrovic to claim just under his crossbar. Massive chance for Bilbao, not taken by the centre-back. Meanwhile, Sanchez looking to burst down the other end for Espanyol. He's dispossessed back there by Bilbao defenders. And then Williams looks to thread it through for Gomez, who made the run beyond the Espanyol defence. But Cabrera on the cover to work it back to his goalkeeper. So 0-0. High velocity start here at the RCDE. And it's a ground that Espanyol will feel if they do ultimately succumb to relegation. They could have done better on. No win in their last 8 games at home, and key relegation rivals have taken points off them in that time. Alaves took all 3 points, as did Girona. Oviedo took a point away from these parts as well. As Bilbao come forward again, Williams thinking about the effort, looking to make space on his right foot on the edge of the penalty area. In the end, he's ushered away by a crowd of blue and white stripes, but they work Bilbao all the way back to halfway. Into the feet now of Navarro. No way past Gonzalez, who sticks to task well, sticks out a boot and wins the ball cleanly off of the Bilbao winger. And now here come Espanyol down the left-hand side. Looping ball looking for Sanchez on this near side, the right. Sanchez up against Boiro, backing him away into the penalty area. Whip ball towards the far post. Headed away by Arezzo for Bilbao. Espanyol, though, their time to attack. They have Bilbao pinned back inside their own penalty area as another ball comes in, but that's seen away by the away side. Quarter of an hour gone. 0-0. Great game for the neutral, this. A game with real permutations at the top and bottom of La Liga in the relegation battle and the chase for Europe. Carlos Romero brings the ball down in the left back position. Bilbao just standing off the full back as he allows it to just roll back in field to his centre back Riedel. And then there's El Hilali. Gonzalez in the midfield pokes it through short. Espanyol having to work hard to retain possession. That was brave in there by Fernandez to help it on to Esposito, and then Sanchez was racing on beyond him down the right hand side. That was where the ball went, but Boiro read it, went in with a crunching challenge. It was well timed, but it's left Sanchez in a heap on the floor, grasping his ankle. Might have just caught a chunk of the racing Espanyol winger Boiro as he lunged in there. It was a full-blooded challenge from Adama Boiro, and had to time it to perfection right on the border of the penalty area. He felt he did that, as did his teammates, but more importantly, as did the referee. Sanchez back to his feet, albeit with a slight limp, and it will be a Bilbao throw-in to restart play from their left back position. Riedel heads the ball forward. Well, Espanyol, they've only scored 5 goals at home since December. And those 5 goals have come in their last 8 games, whilst conceding 13 the other way. So their problems are laid out for all to see, laid out bare. You've got to have a strong spine in your home form to make anything of yourself in La Liga and really pull away from those relegation places. As Ruiz de Galarreta just wins the ball in midfield after some lax play from Espanyol, and you can see the red and white shirts flooding forward. He's caught, though, by a professional foul, I think you call them, by Paul Lozano, which brings to an end the Bilbao breakaway. And the Bilbao players surrounding the referee. They want a card of some colour, but it doesn't come, not even a yellow. So Bilbao get on with it. They cross it in from the left-hand side. It's headed out by Espanyol. And then Sanchez felt he was held back as he looked to race away down the right-hand side. The referee agrees, and it's going to be now a free kick to Espanyol. Riedel plays it short to El Hilali, the Moroccan fullback. He sends it long down the right-hand side for Fernandez to give chase into this right-hand channel. Headed away back there by Bilbao. So throw in level with the edge of the penalty area from the right-hand side for Espanyol. It's been a really even game so far. Not much to separate these two sides, fighting for things either end of the La Liga table. It's thrown in, cleared away by Bilbao, and a snapshot from the edge of the penalty area by Lozano is high and wide and not handsome from the centre midfielder. And Espanyol certainly giving as good as they're getting. No wins in 18. But you wouldn't know it from this type of performance. They've certainly come out swinging. And you feel they have to, with only 2 games remaining after this. It's a point at the moment, 20 minutes in, that just gives them an inch of breathing room at the bottom of La Liga, away from the relegation places. They'll be really inspired and delighted with the way that the opening 20 minutes has gone. The relegation threatened side. Dimitrovic rolls the ball out to Cabrera. This is Carlos Romero in the left back position for Espanyol. Rolls it back to the centre half, Cabrera. Where it goes to Riedel into midfield. This is neat and tidy from Espanyol as they make their way up to the halfway line. Lovely first touch by Lozano to help it on towards Exposito. Out towards the left-hand side, Romero. This is dangerous for Espanyol. Spilled by Simon, and it can't be turned home on the rebound by the on-rushing Roca. And Bilbao survive once again. Well, it's Romero who was found on the left-hand side. Cross-come shot. Wasn't dealt with convincingly by Unai Simon. He palmed it back into danger, and Espanyol couldn't make the most of the rebound. Bilbao clear it behind for a corner kick. 20 minutes gone, 0-0. You feel the first goal is vital in a game as tight as this. In comes the corner to the near post, dealt with by Bilbao and helped further by Robert Navarro back there. Met on halfway by the Espanyol goalkeeper, who sends it back into the left-hand channel, but to no one in particular. It'll only fade behind for a goal kick. But the first piece of showpiece goalkeeping by Unai Simon, hit with plenty of venom by Carlos Romeo, and Simon got a big left hand up to prevent it. Did spill it back into danger, but his Bilbao defenders could rush onto the danger and clear it behind. The Spanish number one making his 263rd appearance for Bilbao. Only 2 clean sheets away from home for him all season, amongst the team that have conceded the most away goals, Bilbao, the top 12 of La Liga. But Unai Simon called into action for the first time this evening. Riedel surges forward. Nicely done to find Roca down the left-hand side. Roca dancing infield onto the right foot. Crosses towards the far post. Headed back across the danger area by Sanchez. Looking for Fernandez. Last-ditch defending again by Bilbao as the defenders turn it behind for a corner. Espanyol have Bilbao exactly where they want them. Pegged back inside their own penalty area. It's wave after wave of blue and white attack at the moment at the RCDE. Espanyol asking all the questions, and so far Bilbao only just have the answers. Another corner for Espanyol, this time from the right hand side. It'll be an outswinger delivered right-footed by Exposito into the danger area towards the penalty spot. Headed more up than out by Bilbao, but then they can clear the ball away with Navarro. On the cover back there though is Omar El Hilali, the last man back for Espanyol, who have been buoyed by how they've started this game against a side seeking their 3rd successive campaign in European football. I'll be really encouraged. Will Manolo Gonzalez from what he's seen from his side so far. Valverde less so. I'm sure Eden Turcig, watching from afar, will be assessing everything he can heading into next year. There's just Leandro Cabrera just about got enough on his back pass towards his goalkeeper to prevent Inaki Williams latching onto it, providing full punishment. The ball clipped up by Dimitrovic, brought down by the Bilbao back line. They just need to settle themselves here. They've been rocked with the past 5-10 minutes or so from Espanyol. And Emeric Laporte buys his side some time, drawing a foul from an over-eager Roberto Fernandez. He goes down. It's going to be a free kick to Bilbao, which they play short. Well, Espanyol have only scored 5 goals in their last 8 home games, and Roberto Fernandez has 2 of that total. He's the last man to score here on the 21st of March in a 2-1 defeat against Getafe. And it was his goal that earned Espanyol a point the last time these two met here last season, Roberto Fernandez. And he's certainly been a handful so far for that Bilbao back line as Bilbao work it towards the left-hand side. Kept in play on this near side by Navarro. He can go at El Hilali on the left-hand side, just teasing the Moroccan fullback. Works it onto his right foot. Dancing in field, proof of the penalty area now as Ruiz de Galarreta. That's a neat ball, well worked into Boiro, who can clip the ball across the 6-yard box, but it's good defending back there by Espanyol to head the ball away for a corner kick. This time Carlos Romero called into action for the home side to deal with the danger. But again, Bilbao, for as impressive as Espanyol and as it's inspirited their performance has been this afternoon, Bilbao still have so much quality in their ranks, and they're showing it in spells as well. 25 minutes gone. Bilbao corner kick in towards that 6-yard box, headed away by Cabrera. The Uruguayan back there for Espanyol doing the fielding, and then Navarro turns on the pace to beat Exposito to the loose ball to work it back to Unai Simon. The game's still being played at a brilliant pace. You feel that these players can't keep this up, surely, in the evening continental sunshine. And there seems to be a problem here for Dani Vivian, who's stayed down from that most recent Bilbao corner kick. He one of the 7 changes made by Valverde in the build-up to this one this evening. As we see a replay on our monitors, it was Urco Gonzalez keeping a close eye on the Bilbao centre-half and just may have dug his studs into the heels of Dani Vivian, whose 149th appearance for Bilbao might be cut short this evening. Saying that, he's swiftly back on his feet, called up by the medical staff. There's Dani Vivian, and with a few puffs of the cheeks and a few heavy limps later, he looks to be right as raring on his feet again. The man partnering Enric Laporte at the back for Bilbao. Veteran Yere Alvarez has been sent out to warm up, but I think he'll be swiftly told to sit back down by Valverde as Dani Vivian sprints his way back into position on the Bilbao back line. So 0-0, 27 minutes gone, and this one has been played at a rate of knocks, real velocity from both sides, and you can understand why with what's at stake for both of them come the end of the La Liga season. Espanyol, though, from a promising position with a throw on the left-hand side, now on the back foot as Bilbao break forwards, but it's a misplaced pass on that far side, and then Fernandez is set away, right-hand side as he bursts into the penalty area. Across comes Laporte to cannon it away. He's claiming the ball is his, and the linesman agrees. Bilbao throw in. But great turn of pace shown by Fernandez. It was a lovely cheeky ball round the corner by Lozano, who'd asked Fernandez to chase it, a task that he gleefully accepted into the channel. But across came Enric Laporte, and it's going to be a throw-in for Bilbao. Laporte, who nearing the end of his first season back, of his second coming here at Atletico Bilbao. A 5-time Premier League winner, 2 times FA Cup winner, 3 League Cups, 1 Champions League with Manchester City. Of course, European Championship with Spain as well. Did have a period in Saudi Arabia before coming back to his boyhood club in the Basque region. Of course, he was an exception to the rule a decade or so ago. For the Basque lineup. Bilbao worked the ball up the field, but foul committed by Inaki Williams. And Espanyol once again will have control of the football. And you have to say that's a lot of what Espanyol have exerted here so far this evening. Plenty of control. They just need a bit of quality to go with that. And you feel that this game, especially this first half, is there for the taking. And you feel if they can get their noses in front, this place will be rocking. And belief will really start to surge around the Espanyol supporters. They come forward down the left-hand side. That's attacked is ended, though, by Oresso, who sticks his foot in for Bilbao. He can't clear his lines cleanly, though, and Lozano forces him to pop the ball out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Espanyol, and they can keep in the hunt for the opening goal. Slipped though by Rydell, but he recovers just in the nick of time to take the ball away from Unai Gomez, who was just hunting on halfway. But the young German just sorted his feet out in time to hook the ball away from the onrushing Spaniard. So elsewhere in La Liga, Sevilla trail to Villarreal by a 1-0. Villarreal, of course, European and Champions League football, all but secured. And, of course, 0-0 here. A few more games getting underway later this evening to keep an eye on, with ramifications at both ends of the table as the ball's fizzed into the feet of Fernandez. He holds it up well, invites Sanchez forward, promising this for Espanyol. The glancing header from Exposito, though, is glanced wide. Well, you feel Espanyol are so dangerous down the flanks when they can get Romero and Roca and Sanchez involved. This time it was Ruben Sanchez again providing an option down the right-hand side. Really decent delivery into the centre. Exposito just couldn't get enough of that head on it and enough contact to turn it goalwards with the glancing header. And it just zips wide. Looking for just his second goal in 59 league games, Edu Exposito. It was a delightful measured ball in by Sanchez. Just needs to get a bit more on it, Exposito, on the corner of the 6-yard box. Couldn't test Simon. But here comes Alejandro Rego for Bilbao. Maisie run through the centre. Offloads to Navarro. Down the left-hand side. Gets no change out of El Hilali, so cuts in field. His cross, though, headed away back there by Espanyol. Picked up in the centre by Vivian, the centre-back. This is now Berenguer. Drives down the right-hand side. Looping ball into the penalty area. Headed more up than out by Espanyol. There's the overhead kick from the edge of the penalty area from Berenguer, which glances just wide. Well, ambitious to take it on, but very much almost pulled it off. Alex Berenguer daring to dream with the acrobatics from the edge of the penalty area. It was off target by a fair few yards in the end, but audacious to say the least. Romero, meanwhile, down the left-hand side. This is Roca in support, tight to the left-hand touchline. He's giving Arreso the run around, and then glances the ball in. Right-footed, flicked by Fernandez, saved by Simon down to his right-hand side. Romero reloads into the penalty area, dealt with by Bilbao, and then the offside flag is up in the end, and the free kick given to the away side. Well, no, not the offside flag. It's going to be a corner kick, beg your pardon. Well, it's a teasing ball in from the right-hand side from Roca. Did really well to purchase the space to measure his ball. It's a brilliant flick by Fernandez. I think it was going wide, but Simon wasn't to know that. And he surged away to his right-hand side, threw out a left palm, and turned it behind for what proved to be a corner kick. A belated decision from the linesman, but the corner kick given. And Espanyol are having all the decent opportunities in front of goal. Kick taken towards the near post, not dealt with by Bilbao. It's back out to the corner taker now. Left-footed delivery, blocked by Boiro back there. Headed out only as far as Romero. Challenging now on the far side. It's going to be a Bilbao throw-in. Well, that's the second decent save now that Unai Simon has had to make in the Bilbao sticks. First from Carlos Romero's thunderous effort from the angle, and then from a really smart flick from Roberto Fernandez away to his right-hand side. So it's Espanyol asking all the attacking questions, and Bilbao have really only been limited to half chances. The overhead kick from Alex Berenguer, probably the best chance of the game that they've had. Inaki Williams is flagged offside. You do feel just how much they're missing his brother Nico this evening. And with the artistry and the inventiveness and the pace and power that he brings down the flank. His replacement, Alex Berenguer, has fired wide from an acrobatic bicycle kick. But you feel that Valverde will be expecting a bit more from Nico Williams' replacement. Fired forward down the right-hand side by El Hilali. Headed back where it came by Bilbao. Laporte pushed over by Fernandez. He wants a free kick. He's not going to get one. This is Sanchez. Pulls the ball into the penalty area. And then Fernandez reloads after Bilbao carry out the defending. Edge of the penalty area. Strike by Exposito is fired wide via deflection. It's going to be another Espanyol corner. They are edging closer and closer to get in the opening goal here, Espanyol. And Bilbao just don't seem to be able to get out at the moment. Their goal being absolutely peppered with Espanyol opportunities. The side threatened with relegation well on top here. And the crowd responding in turn. It's another corner for the home side. Exposito, right-footed ball to the near post. Sent away by Inaki Williams back there. And then worked all the way back to the goalkeeper, Dimitrovic, for Espanyol. This is an Espanyol team who have only scored 5 goals in their last 8 league games here at home. They haven't won in 18. You feel it's now or never for them. And they are giving it a right good go. They're playing with a team really with nothing to lose. Romero sought down the left-hand side. They can't find him. It's cut out by Bilbao. And surging in field was Rego. He offloads to Laporte. Ruiz de Galarreta in the midfield for Bilbao. Back on their own back line with Laporte. Just looking to reset here, Bilbao. They've been under the cosh for about 10 minutes. 10-15 minutes has been belonging to Espanyol here at the RCDE. And Bilbao just need to get a foot on the ball and be able to earn the right to play their own game at the moment. And it's something that, due to a combination of poor passing and really hard work and graft by Espanyol, that Bilbao haven't been afforded to be able to do. And they just conceded another free kick here, Bilbao. They just can't establish any sort of tempo or rhythm, the away side. And Espanyol, you feel in this first half, while they're on top, really need to make the most of this and make an indent on the score sheet. It remains 0-0. We've got 8 minutes to go in this first half. Espanyol playing it across their own back line. Back it goes to the goalkeeper by El Hilali. This is Cabrera surging it forward, looking for the run of Fernandez, and Vivian was confident enough. That was carrying through towards Simon. And after a sharp intake of breath from everyone concerned with Bilbao, it does reach the Spanish number 1 in the penalty area for him to claim. Worked out from the back line. Laporte into the feet of Boiro. Back it goes to Vivian, to Laporte's right-hand side. Vivian, long searching ball forward into the right-hand channel. Berenguer gives chase. Romero out to meet him, advanced position down the right-hand side, between the box and the touchline. Work back to the edge of the penalty area, aimed in towards Inaki Williams. Back there was Rialdal, though, to carry out the defending and head behind for a corner. And vital touch it was from the German centre-back, with Inaki Williams just waiting to fire from 6 yards out. With the goal at his mercy. Defending that simply had to be carried out by Clemens Riedel. So Bilbao corner kick. Ruiz de Galarreta out to take it. From the far side, the right. Blue and white mixed with red and white in that penalty area. Right-footed ball into the penalty area. The Bilbao flicks on, and Laporte can't turn it home from close range. Scramble inside the 6-yard box, and Dimitrovic can collapse upon it and make the ball his. The Espanyol goalkeeper. Well, it was a Bilbao flick on at the near post, which caused all sorts of problems in the 6-yard box. Laporte couldn't turn it home with a swing and a miss. It struck the woodwork. It deflected back into the danger area. And an almighty scramble. Williams couldn't turn it in. And Espanyol survived. And that goes down as Bilbao's best opportunity of this first half. And it's one that Laporte nor Williams can take to put their team 1 up. Espanyol coming forward again. Lozano measures the ball into the penalty area from deep, but Simon makes that his. Well, a flurry of opportunities for both sides. Certainly Espanyol have had the better of it as play has gone, but arguably it's Bilbao have had the best opportunity of the game. Espanyol haven't made the most of their domination of the possession statistic. Will they be made to rue that in the second half, or even before the first half is out? Because here come Bilbao, but they're penalised for a high foot in the midfield, much to Valverde's frustration as he holds his arms out in exasperation, palms to the sky. And I'm sure, as we look at that Laporte chance again, this is a big factor in it. Well, Laporte felt the ball was gone. He turned his back on it, and it just deflected up off the Spaniard and struck the woodwork, and Williams couldn't react in time to turn it home before Dimitrovic collapsed on it to make it his. Down goes Fernandez in the front line for Espanyol under the challenge of Vivian. Nothing doing. Bilbao bring it forward. Really neat turn by Navarro. Seeking ball, looking for Berenguer on the far side. That's cut out by Espanyol. And then they can surge forward through Roca. He's brought down by the retreating Alejandro Rego. And you just feel, as the game comes to boiling point, referee blowing the whistle on various and numerous occasions, you just feel if we're going to see a card before the half is out. Gonzalez, meanwhile, sifts the ball out towards Romero on that far side. Romero up against Berenguer. Drives towards the byline. Left-footed ball cross is blocked by the retreating Berenguer. It's going to be another corner to Espanyol. They may not have converted, but my word, have they piled on the pressure this evening. The side threatened by relegation from La Liga. And this now, their 6th corner kick of the half as we approach the final 3 minutes of this first half. It's been a thoroughly entertaining affair so far. Right-footed delivery by Espanyol, headed away back there by Inaki Williams, carrying out his defensive duties inside his own penalty area. Dimitrovic fires it back forward, but only to his opposite number, Simon. Inaki Williams looking to get away, last-ditch defending back there by Cabrera, sees the ball behind for a corner. Well, it was from defence to attack in a heartbeat. Simon, one long ball, took a number of Espanyol players out of the game, and Inaki Williams just shrugged off the advances of Riedel, and Riedel had to look to his centre-half partner to bail him out of trouble at the expense of a Bilbao corner. 6 corners apiece now. End-to-end stuff, it really is. Can one of these sides put their noses in front before the break? We've seen 2 smart saves by Simon down one end, and some brave defending by Espanyol down the other. Here comes the corner kick. Flicked on further into the penalty area. Romero can flick it away out towards this near side, the left. Boiro looks to watch that out of the play, and he does. And he takes it quickly to Navarro, the throw-in. Lovely searching ball into the penalty area. Riedel, though, read it and reacted in time so that Berenguer couldn't peel away. And Espanyol have the free kick inside their own final third. 2 minutes to go in this first half. Still somehow caught in deadlock. Well, this half has had everything but a goal. Real drama in the final knockings of the La Liga season, and you can really feel the desperation and endeavour from both of these sides for their respective agendas. As Exposito tries his luck from distance, easily gathered by Simon. Exposito looking for just his 2nd goal this season, his 2nd goal in 59 league appearances for Espanyol. They'll have to try better than that to beat Unai Simon from that sort of range. The ball lost by Berenguer. Surging forward is Roca, looking to punish him. Instead, he's dispossessed, and this is Ruiz de la Conorata. And The Bilbao man fouled. And it will be a Bilbao free kick. They certainly haven't reached their level, Atletico Bilbao, of what we know they're capable of. Of course, 3 big misses for them through injury. 3 enforced changes to go of the 7, with Yuri Bureshishu leads their assist numbers. Nico Williams and Hoyan Sunset. But still, the side with the offer of European football on the table, if they can take it for a 3rd successive year, a side that haven't had the best luck in Europe as of late. They were knocked out the Champions League group stage this season after qualifying for it for the first time since 2015, last season. Atletico Bilbao, just the 1 minute added on at the end of this first half, and the clearance has found Navarro for Bilbao after an Espanyol attack. Navarro searching down the left-hand side, held up by the retreating blue and white striped shirts. The ball finds Rego on the edge of the penalty area. Inaki Williams looking to flick it through to the run that Navarro had made. Espanyol with enough defenders on the edge of their box to field it and snuff out the danger. Flicked by Inaki Williams. The effort from Gomez hits the post. The 2nd time Bilbao have shot the woodwork, and this comes at the end of a fractious first half. Well, it was just a simple ball forward, and the referee has blown the whistle for half time, but we're going to have a VAR check before that, because Inaki Williams flicked the ball forward from a long ball. Unai Gomez, a lovely first touch to take him beyond Riedel. The German centre-back just held back the attacker before he struck the effort, and the question is now whether that tug-back came inside the penalty area, and that's what the referee's having a look at now. But the VAR, I think, has brought a conclusion to the first half. It was deemed to be outside the box if there even was an offence in the first place. And, Bilbao end the half striking the woodwork for a 2nd time at the end of a first period which has been played with the vigour and the intensity and the endeavour in the final knockings of the La Liga season of 2 teams that still have everything to play for. All that's missing from this first half has been a goal, and the closest to have come to it has been Atletico Bilbao. They've hit the woodwork twice, a goal-mouth scramble, and Unai Gomez thundering one against the woodwork at the end of the first half. As for Espanyol, they've shown real spirit and will be really encouraged from their performance in the first half. Unai Simon had to pull out 2 outstanding saves to keep the scores level from Edu Exposito and Carlos Romero. But at the break, we're caught in deadlock, and this is an almighty contest here at the RCDE. Half-time, Espanyol 0, Bilbao 0. Welcome back to the second half here at the RDCE. A first half that was played with all the gumption and the ferocity of a match that has a real weight riding on it for both sides, and that's because that's exactly what it has. The red and whites of Bilbao and their European aspirations against the blue and white of Espanyol and their quest for survival in La Liga. Well, just the one change at half-time, only one victim of what was a first half played at real velocity, and as suspected, Dani Vivian has not survived the half-time assessment, so the Bilbao vet, Ray Alvarez, will replace him at the start of this second period. Alvarez, just a few appearances after returning from a 10-month ban at the start of April, after failing a drug test in May 2025 against Manchester United in the semi-final of the Europa League last season. He's only scored 5 goals for Bilbao. 2 of them came in the last season across a decade of servitude to the Basque Region club. So he will partner Laporte at the back. So for Espanyol then, no changes for them. Marko Dimitrovic in goal, Omar El Hilali at right back, Riddell, Cabrera and Romero, who forced an impressive save out of Unai Simon at the start of that first half. Sanchez, who's looked light and lively down the right flank for Espanyol. Gonzalez, Lozano and Roca, and then Exposito and Fernandez. Fernandez has been a real handful for that Bilbao back line. As for Bilbao, Simon in goal, who's been called into action on numerous occasions in that first half to keep the score at deadlock. Oreso, now Alvarez, Laporte and Boiro. Ruiz de Galarreta and Rego in midfield for Bilbao. Berenguer, who had an acrobatic effort that flashed just wide of one of a flurry of Bilbao chances at the end of the second half. Gomez and Navarro. Gomez, who hit the post, of course, right on the stroke of half-time. And Inaki Williams continues to lead the line. Remember, Bilbao struck the woodwork twice in that first half. First through Emerick Laporte, and then through Gomez in the stroke of half-time. But here come Espanyol down the left-hand side. Roca, left-footed ball across the penalty areas. He digs out across, comes all the way across to Sanchez. Between the box and the touchline on that right side is Exposito. He's urged off of it, though, by Alejandro Rego. And then Bilbao look to play their way out of danger. Boiro has it, facing his own touchline in the left-back position. He does manage to apply a clearance, but it only reaches halfway, and it's brought under control by Riedel. Well, 2-2 now between Sevilla and Villarreal. Sevilla coming from behind not once but twice to draw level with the side who have already cemented a UCL place in Champions League. Sevilla, of course, still threatened, as are Espanyol, and so are a whole host of clubs, by all the permutations and all the twists and the turns that can still happen at the bottom of La Liga. Alaves and Girona occupying the final 2 relegation places, but still within touching distance of safety, and still so much can happen in La Liga. As here come Espanyol down the left-hand side. Romero's cross from the left flank, but he's flagged as offside. But a bright start to the second half by Espanyol, much in the same vein as they started the first. The side who are showing plenty of gumption and heart and determination despite their poor run of form lately. Remember, no win in 18 since beating Bilbao back in December. That's their last win in La Liga 5 months ago, and you feel it would only be poetic if they ended that run against the same opposition. But of course, Bilbao, I'm sure, will have something to say about that. They come into this one off the back of back-to-back defeats against Real Madrid and Sevilla. So Espanyol desperate to bring to an end a losing streak. 12 of their 16 defeats this season have come since Christmas, which is just staggering. Just as well, they made a decent start to the season, Espanyol, where they accumulated the majority of their 39-point total coming into this one. But they've certainly shown enough here to show La Liga that there's still plenty of fight left in them. Under the watchful eye of Mandolo Gonzalez. And here they come forwards. Fernandez, his first glimpse of pace the second half, but Laporte enough yards on him to get goal side and work it back to Simon, but the ball from Bilbao's clearance falls straight into Espanyol hands again. This is Cabrera at the back. Fizzed out to this near side, the left for Romero. 5 goals for him this season from left back Carlos Romero. 3 of them have come away. He's not scored here since October, and of course it came a fine save it took from Simon to deny him early in the first half. He's looking to combine with Roca down the left-hand side, and it's dealt with at the back by Bilbao, and more specifically Berankurt. But plenty to be buoyed about for Espanyol again at the start of this second period, as they work the ball back to halfway. El Hilali out towards that far side, swept back in field though by Sanchez. Short it goes to Riedel, then square to Cabrera. Espanyol once again just getting a feel of the football and starting nice and front-footed, their foot flat on the gas pedal, coming straight out of the blocks in this second period. And Bilbao again just struggling to find their feet and get to in the tempo and the pace of the game. Espanyol currently 4 places clear of the relegation places, but still only a point clear of 18th place Girona if the score remains the same here. 40 minutes to go though. Plenty of time for one of these sides to make an impression. Fernandez smuggles the ball out towards Sanchez on that far side. Espanyol come forward again. All the momentum with the home side at the start of this second period, and Bilbao once again being forced into a bit of defending, but Adama can watch a long ball behind for Bilbao, and it's behind for a goal kick. So we just see on our monitors a glance down at the bench, and Danny Vivian with ice on that ankle that was caught midway through the first half from a Bilbao corner kick. So something for Verde and Bilbao to keep an eye on. Hoisted away by Cabrera. One for Fernandez to give chase, courtesy of Exposito's flick on, but again Laporte, and this time Adama had enough of a head start to get goal side and work it back to Simon. A rare miscue from the Spain number 1 as he just sliced the ball straight out of play. Unai Simon, in his 10th season with Atletico Bilbao, and hoping for success this season at the World Cup, and he'll know that his place is under threat, especially if David Raya goes on and lifts the Premier League with Arsenal, and the key part that he's played between the sticks for the English champions in waiting this season, as well as a Champions League final on the horizon, David Raya. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the Spanish camp during the World Cup between those two, Unai Simon and David Raya. But Espanyol, the ball at the back again. Riedel picking out Roca on this left-hand side. Roca towards the byline, just overruns the ball though. Unfortunate with players arriving in the middle. The young Anthony Roca. And it's behind for a goal kick. It's Espanyol, 10 minutes into the second half. Again, just showing they have the endeavour and have the passion, perhaps just lacking the quality, which might well be the story of their season. Promoted through the playoffs of the Segunda Division 2 seasons ago, back to La Liga following relegation. Relegation, of course, that this man who just headed the ball, Leandro Cabrera, experienced all too well with them. He's been promoted twice, the veteran Uruguayan, with Espanyol as his centre-back partner. Hiedal just catches Unai Gomez in an aerial challenge from behind. Painful one for Gomez in the back of the temple. And a few rubs of the hair, he's back on his feet. And it's going to be a free kick to Atletico Bilbao, midway inside Espanyol territory on the left-hand side. A chance to pump this ball forward and look to come to their first opportunity of the second half, because in all honesty they haven't had too many glimpses inside the Espanyol penalty area in the opening 10 minutes of this second period. The home side have come out and really taken the game to Bilbao, but it's Berenguer is going to flick it into the penalty area, hoisted back across the edge of the box, flick forward it for Bilbao, hoisted more up than across by Alvarez, and caught by Mitrovic. This is Berenguer towards this near side for Arezzo, who charges on, making good ground down the right hand side. His first cross is blocked by Gonzalez, and then the ball deemed to deflect back off the fullback, much to his astoundment, towards the linesman, as he let that go for thinking it was a corner, and the linesman points in defiance for a goal kick, so opportunity wasted for Bilbao. Ball at the back with Riedel. El Hilali out towards the far side for Sanchez. Good bit of skill takes him past Adama Boiro, but Boiro works hard to get a toe in at the concession of a throw-in. Plenty of nervy faces and the biting of fingernails around the RCDE. They know how big of an opportunity this is with how Espanyol have started this second half. They'll really kick themselves. They can't take anything against Bilbao, as the ball is hoisted up the right-hand side and stood up into the penalty area, and then there goes the offside flag as suspected. And it's always interesting to see all the players, defenders and attackers, run towards the penalty area with a thought in the back of their mind that it's probably going to be flagged for offside, because on that occasion Sanchez was a couple of yards offside. It's just quite amusing to see the players run back at a bit of a canter, in anticipation for the flag to go up. And after the cross came in from Sanchez, flag raised to the sky for offside. So Inaki Williams is the target of this this free kick. It only finds Gomez, who flicks through. Williams looking to ghost around the back. Mitrovic reacted quickly though, sprinting out of his goal to dive at the feet of Inaki Williams and stop the veteran in his path. 113 goals in 504 appearances for Inaki Williams for lifelong Athletic Bilbao. Hasn't really had too much to go at this afternoon, Inaki Williams. Romero again for Espanyol, touches inside then rolls it back to the defensive line. This is Cabrera just over halfway down the left hand side, squeezes the ball up towards Lozano, tights the left hand touchline. Romero, short it goes to Lozano, out towards this near side, taking on the Bilbao defenders, squeezing a ball into the penalty area. It's played back across the box, but it's too far in front of Sanchez, who can't meet it, and Adama Boiro can come away with possession up to halfway for Bilbao. A big opening there for Espanyol, but once again a promising position that they can't make the most of. Alvarez slips it into Inaki Williams, into the penalty area, waiting for support, works onto his left foot, faced by a group now of blue and white shirts who get back to defend, and then up goes the flag against Inaki Williams at the end of all that. It was a great pick out by Alvarez on the replay. Clear to see Inaki Williams had gone just a fraction too early. Well, Espanyol, of course, a point would not be the worst thing in the world for them. Still against Osasuna, and back here against Sociedad on the 23rd of May to finish the La Liga season. They're just about hanging on by the skin of their teeth, that's for sure. As for Bilbao, they'll finish the season with an away trip to the Bernabeu, as they look to secure European football for a third successive season. But before that, they have to host Celta Vigo. Still plenty of time to go here, though. And still potential for so much to happen. The flick by Fernandez. Romero couldn't get a hold of it. It's cleared away by Bilbao, but it's over the head of Inaki Williams. And neither side can really get a hold of possession as we tick up to the hour mark here at the RCDE. 30,000 inside this arena. Majority of those looking to get Espanyol over the line for a third consecutive season back in La Liga. Mitrovic sends it forward. Fernandez asked to hold it up. He does that in the first instance, but can't help it on towards Sanchez. It's helped away by Bilbao. Well, certainly not the tempo and the intensity and the rigour at which the first half was played. It's all a bit fractious and stop-start and a few tired legs seeping in out there, but it still has all the needle that we saw at the end of the first half. Has been retained into this second half. It's a good position picked up by Exposito, and he's been found, and he can look to play it through the Bilbao back line towards Romero. Cleared away though by the away side, and then here comes Arreso charging down the right hand side. Exposito though covered the ground well to atone for his error and dispossessed the flying fullback. Now here comes Roca, offloads to Gonzalez. On the overlap is El Hilali. Low ball into the penalty area, cleared away by Laporte. Is that the spark, though, that Espanyol need? The crowd respond in turn at the awarding of a throw-in. As once again, they're just looking to build themselves a foothold for ascendancy again, the home side. How valuable 3 points could be on their home turf at the end of this season, Espanyol. With things as tight as they are at the foot of La Liga. Substitutions incoming from the respective benches. But here comes Roca. Low ball into the penalty area for Espanyol from the left-hand side. Glanced away back there by Bilbao. And then an infringement took place inside the penalty area. So it's going to be a free kick for the away side. And Yare Alvarez is down. Well, it did look like Pierre Miller was going to be the man to be introduced for Espanyol, or one of them at least. And Yuri Alvarez is back to his feet, and it is going to be Pierre Miller, the winger, as well as Jofre Carreras. So Pierre Miller is going to replace Ruben Sanchez, who hasn't been able to really get into this second half and make an impression on this second period as much as he did in the first down that right flank. And Jofre Carreras is also going to come on, and he will replace Antoni Roca. So it's a double change on the flanks, like for like on either flank from Espanyol. Meanwhile, Inaki Williams' race is run, and he's going to be replaced by Gorka Rosetta. And meanwhile, Reguiza is going to replace Ruiz de la Galarreta in the centre of Bilbao's midfield. And straight from the restart, here come Bilbao looking to forge something forward. They can't do that. And Exposito can turn and drive with it. And first opportunity now for Carreras to make a nuisance of himself down the right-hand side. But Bilbao snuff out that danger, and it's back on Espanyol's back line. Bilbao win it high, and here they come. Red and white shirts flooding forward. Out to the left-hand side. Bending effort, deflected wide. It's going to be a corner. Well, almost an instant impact from Mikel Uragiza, who was all alone on the left-hand side of the box as Gonzalez was caught in possession inside his own territory. Navarro found him, first-time effort with his right foot, just looking to bend it to that far corner. But Higuel made himself big at the back, Rydell, and it deflects behind for a Bilbao corner. Almost an instant impact from the substitute. but they play the corner kick short. Boiro, Navarro looking to work it in from deep. It's more up than out by Espanyol. Alvarez looking to keep the ball alive. He goes down edge of the penalty area, wants a decision, not going to get one. Boiro reloads into the penalty area, and Gonzalez can hoist the ball to safety out for a throw-in for Espanyol. Let's have a look at that Alvarez claim. No, nothing in that. Riedel just easing into his opposing centre half. And the referee confirms that and points for a throw-in. Bilbao get on with it quickly. And then that's a free kick to Bilbao. Exposito being too heavy-handed with Boiro. And that's going to be a free kick to Atletico Bilbao. And that's cause for the large figures to go forward and really make a nuisance of themselves in the Espanyol penalty area. Well, after a bright start to this second period for the relegation threatened side, Bilbao, you felt inevitably were going to come back into it and flex muscles of their own. And we're seeing that now with 25 minutes left on the clock. In goes that free kick, headed away back there by Espanyol. Reloaded into the penalty area. Again, the Espanyol defence does its job and gets the ball to safety. All the way back with Unai Simon. Fernandez on the charge, and Simon can only slice out a play off balance inside his own penalty area. Espanyol can't make anything of the throw-in. This game just opening up slightly. The substitutes have really injected life into Atletico Bilbao. It's now them with all the momentum and very much on the front foot. And Espanyol are having to work hard to keep them at bay. 0-0. At this point, the first goal is absolutely massive here. So just a confirmation of those changes. Gurilazeta and Huregueza are on for Atletico Bilbao, and Carreras and Mila on for Espanyol. And here comes Jorge Carreras down the right-hand side, right-footed cross into the penalty area, and it was Miller who was there. Almost two substitutes combining to great effect, but Bilbao defence stands firm, and the ball now in the hands of Unai Simon. And there's plenty around this arena that can barely watch at this point from an Espanyol persuasion. They know how big 3 points could be, and they are really in the realms of possibility, because Bilbao have not arrived in the best form of themselves this evening. A patched up Bilbao side who have plenty of injury problems, and you feel are there for the taking if Espanyol can just find a bit of quality to finish the job. Bilbao give the ball away, then win it straight back, and here comes Navarro. Cabrera scrapping to hold him up. Navarro's ball into the penalty area, more up than out by Riedel. One back by Bilbao on the edge of the penalty area, but by illegal means. Down goes Piramella, and it's going to be a free kick to Espanyol just to alleviate the danger. Well, Gurilazeta thrown on like-for-like change at the front of the pitch for Bilbao. 16 goals in all competitions, 9 goals in the league, 12 goals in his last 23 games in all competitions. 3 of his last 9 La Liga goals have come away from home. But here come Espanyol. Look at the space on this near side for Romero. Angles tight, shifts it back onto his right foot, looking for space to pull the trigger. But too many Bilbao defenders in his way. Espanyol, though, resume with the attack, and it's in! Piramella off the bench to score what could be a priceless goal for Espanyol. In their desperate hour of need, Piramella comes off the bench to turn home the opener, and that one could prove vital in their quest for survival. A moment of inspiration, an injection of belief, and Piramella who's only been on the pitch a matter of minutes, might well have just scored the goal that injects plenty of belief around this place. Espanyol 1, Bilbao 0. It was reloaded to the left-hand side. Romero measured the ball into the near post, and Miller got across his marker, Alvarez, who didn't react in time, and it's the deftest of touches from 6 yards out, which just creeps inside Simon's near post. And this place erupts with noise, and you can just see how much it means to the Espanyol supporters around this place. A goal that could be priceless in their quest for survival. 18 games, 5 months without a win, without the taste of victory. The last team they beat was Atletico Bilbao, and they lead them by a goal to nil with 20 minutes to go. A monumental moment in the relegation battle at the foot of La Liga. 1-0 Espanyol. 7th goal of the season, and this one could be priceless for Miller. In the meantime, Bilbao have just made a change. Andoni Gorazabal has come on for Jesus Cerezo at fullback. Well, it was Romero initially whose effort was blocked. It was worked back out to the left-hand side. Brilliant ball into the near post. And Miller worked hard to get across Alvarez. And it's the deftest of touches from 6 yards out that has beaten Unai Simon. And Espanyol have something to hang on to. Romero, who adds to his goal contribution tally. 5 goals and a handful of assists for him now. 18 league games without a win. 5 months without tasting victory for Espanyol. And now 19 minutes away plus stoppages from what could be a vital 3 points in their quest to stay in La Liga. Headed forward by Espanyol. One back in the midfield by Bilbao, but stolen right back by the home side. Then back again by Bilbao. Possession changing hands as desperation ensues for the side chasing European football and for the side battling against relegation. Fernandez felt he was held back. Referee says no. Frustrations build for Espanyol. Desperation builds for both of these sides. And the euphoria for Espanyol. This could be a damaging defeat for Bilbao. Plenty of time still in the game, of course, but it really puts a dent in their European aspirations with plenty of their rivals still to play around them. Cabrera searches forward, brought down in the midfield by Gonzalez for Espanyol. Fernandez combines with Exposito. Back in field into the penalty area. This is neat and tidy from Espanyol. Round the back towards Jorge on the left-hand side of the box. Great interplay between Mella and Jorge Carreras. And back there was Alvarez with the last-ditch defending, a vital touch behind. It's going to be another Espanyol corner. All momentum with the home side now. They really believe. These fans have gone so long, 5 months without celebrating victory. The form sheet is mixtures of oranges and reds, of draws and losses. In comes the corner kick towards the far post. Espanyol header. Simon got down though to deny Cabrera, who rose at the far stick, the captain. And then Simon was impeded from releasing the ball quickly. So the free kick awarded to the Spanish number 1. Oh, this place really is a pressure cooker now. Bilbao, you feel, have to react to keep their European aspirations in their hands. Perry Miller's opener after 70 minutes, 20 minutes from time, sees Espanyol on the cusp of a win that could prove absolutely priceless. Fernandez being a nuisance again against Alvarez. Hoisted up and out by Laporte. Headed back towards the left-hand side in the midfield by Espanyol, but it's out for a throw-in. Ilan Turcig watching from afar, I'm sure with trepidation. He'll be desperate to come into European football next season. The German head coach, of course, took Borussia Dortmund to within one game of the Champions League trophy not too long ago. The student of Jurgen Klopp and Slavan Bilic will be desperate to show what he can do on the European stage once again, but Bilbao have to get there first. At the moment, Espanyol doing the business as far as they're concerned at the foot of the La Liga table. Exposito in a tight corner, in a tight spot, surrounded by red and white. Can't escape the cul-de-sac. He's dispossessed. But then they win it straight back to Espanyol off of Giza, and then explore options down the right-hand side. It's going to be an Espanyol throw-in. And Bilbao look drained. All the wind in the Espanyol sails. And Bilbao have to turn the tide here if they're going to strike an equaliser. Because Espanyol have 28,500 blue and white shirts cheering them on inside the RCDE. Fernandez worked towards the byline, but the offside flag is up against Mila. And it's going to be a free kick for Bilbao. Just as Espanyol felt they were making tracks once again into a goal-scoring opportunity. So Simon is going to take this free kick. 13 minutes plus stoppages to go. This one hangs on a knife edge. Advantage Espanyol, but Bilbao certainly have the quality to make an impression still. Gomez goes down, clutching his head after an aerial duel with Riedel. He's back to his feet because Rigo has it for Bilbao. Strike from distance comes in from Guerrezeta, but it's high and wide from their top goal scorer. We're just having another look at the goal on our monitors. Wicked ball in from Romero from the left-hand side. It's the deftest of touches from Per Miller. You know, it's the pace from the cross. It allows Miller just to open his foot up and guide it inside of Simon's near post. And the Spanish number one could do nothing to prevent it going past him. And Per Miller scores the goal that gives Espanyol the advantage. Nico Serrano is on for Unai Gomez for Bilbao. Simon picks up in the face of the pressure of Fernandez. So possession safe in the gloves of the Spanish number one. Tell you what, Fernandez, he's had to make opportunities for himself. He had that flick in the first half that was well saved by Simon. But he's had to do so much work off the ball this evening. And it's hard graft that he's done willingly. As Guerrezeta concedes the free kick on the edge of the Espanyol penalty area. The Bilbao forward being a bit too overzealous in his challenge. So Dimitrovic is going to ask for the ball. And he'll pop it down and take this free kick. Contrasting emotions in the home and the away end. So much riding on this for both clubs. But it's Espanyol who have made the first impression on the score sheet. Hoisted up to the edge of the Bilbao penalty area. Headed away by Alvarez. Picked up by Horfed. Hoisted back up by Riedel. Straight into the gloves though of Simon. Fired forward by the Spanish number one. Brought down in the midfield though by Gonzalez for Espanyol. Bilbao just can't get out of their own half at the moment. it's all Espanyol following their opener from Miller. It's hoisted down the right-hand side, looking to be squeezed in the touchline, but it's just gone over the dead ball line. And it's going to be a Bilbao throw-in with 10 minutes to go here. It's been a game with plenty of needle, plenty of contest. Not much in the way of goal-scoring opportunities for either side, but it's Espanyol who have been clinical with theirs. Bilbao really haven't created anything in this second half. I don't remember Marko Dimitrovic being tested in this second period. And that's something that has followed them round this season away from home. Just 4 wins from their 17 games away from home. 19 goals scored, conceded the most goals inside the top 12 in La Liga of Bilbao. And it's a record away from home that's really held them back from really pushing into those European places and cementing their place in those top echelons. But here they come forward down the right-hand side. Berenguer into the penalty area. Goes Guradabal, and he's held up by a group of blue and white shirts. Cabrera can't clear his lines though. Floated in from the right hand side, headed behind for a corner by Romero. Guradabal it was, combining well with Berenguer on this near side. Espanyol all hands to the pump. And now here comes the veteran Quique Garcia being stripped and ready to go as Bilbao threaten. Alvarez sneaking around the near post, but has to be dealt with by Dimitrovic, who got down well to see that behind for a corner. Alvarez though threatening. It's going to be a second Bilbao corner in quick succession, and it goes to the danger area. Dimitrovic, though, gets both gloves to it and can claim inside his penalty area. Quique Garcia, the 36-year-old veteran, being brought on for the remaining 8+ minutes. And he's going to inject some experience and use all his know-how just to see out what would be a vital 3 points for Espanyol. It could be more than just one goal, though, because here comes Miller down the right-hand side. Confusion at the back from Bilbao almost results in an own goal as Guradabal strikes it against Laporte with its attempted clearance. It deflects off the Spaniard and over the bar and behind for a corner. 6s and 7s Bilbao. They really haven't shown the best of themselves this afternoon. And here comes the change for Espanyol. It's going to be a double change. Raymond Terats is going to be brought on, and Roberto Fernandez, who must have covered every single blade of grass on that football pitch this evening, is going to make way. And then we're also going to see, of course, Quique Garcia. Standing ovation for Fernandez. Not getting his goal this evening, but his work rate and his effort and his industry has been so vital to the success that Espanyol are within touching distance of tonight. Quique Garcia is on for the remaining, and Exposito is going to make way for Terats as well. So into the dying embers of this one, the final knockings. Espanyol know they are so close to their first win in 5 months, their first win in 18 games, and a win that could prove priceless in their quest to stay in La Liga. They have a corner from the right-hand side. It's going to be a left-footed swinger into that near post, nodded away at the near post by Guruzzeta. And Romero takes the safety-first approach and pokes the ball out for a throw-in to prevent a Bilbao breakaway. 6 minutes to go. Garcia goes chasing. Hoisted away by Simon. Flicked on in the midfield by Rego for Bilbao. Brought under control by Gonzalez for Espanyol. Into the channel it goes for the goal scorer Pere Milla. No way past Garasabel. He works it back to Simon. Simon more up than out with his clearance, but it's headed back straight into his hands by Paul Lorenzo. And it's going to be Simon to hoist it forwards. Riedel, too strong for Guruzeta. And then a foul comes in by Alejandro Rego, a symptom of the frustration I think that Bilbao are feeling at this point, as Touretz takes a tumble and wins the free kick. 5 minutes to go here. Both of these sides coming into this off of defeats. Espanyol off of back-to-back ones. Both of these sides were desperate to respond for their respective agendas at either end of La Liga. But it's Espanyol who have shown the spirit, have shown the fight, and shown the endeavour. And when it really mattered from Pere Miller, had the quality to match that as well. Here come Espanyol again down the left-hand side through the fresh legs of Touretz. And Touretz, his pressure is enough to force Bilbao into a poor clearance, and it's picked up by Gonzalez in the midfield. And Bilbao just cannot get near these blue and white shirts when they're in possession. It's flicked out to this near side for Romero. First time ball looking for Garcia, but back came Laporte to steer it away to relative safety. Pere Miller smuggles it through to Romero. Plenty up in this attack for Espanyol. Romero, though, delays the cross. Floats in field instead. Red and white shirts surrounding him. Back out towards the left-hand side for Lozano. Square by Cabrera. Riedel fires forward from halfway. But it's too long for anyone in Espanyol colours. And claimed by Unai Simon. Simon will look long and immediate from the drop kick. Plucked out of the sky by Buranquer, and he looks to take the long way round Allegui Gonzalez. Gonzalez goes to ground. Buranquer delivers. That's blocked by the first man. Desperate times for Bilbao. Buranquer, 3.5 minutes remain. Right-footed ball into the penalty area, swept away by Riedel. The German's been a brick wall back there along with Leandro Cabrera for Espanyol. Simon, edge of his own penalty area, fires it forward. Romero's touch over halfway for Espanyol. But here comes charging down the right flank Bilbao into the penalty area, looking to make space for the effort on the edge of the box. Just wouldn't sit up for Serrano, and in the end he's dispossessed. But Espanyol can't get it out of harm's way. Hoisted back in from the right hand side. Flick to relative safety. Buranquer will keep it in just shy of the corner flag on the far side. Boiro throws in a step over on the left side. Sliced cross. Brought down by Guruzeta and hoisted away back there by Espanyol, who are hanging on as Bilbao have one final rally in the dying embers of this one. Bilbao have suddenly come to life. Foul though by Guruzeta. Much of the frustration of Bilbao flagged by the linesman, and it's Miller who's gone down under the challenge, and it's going to be a free kick for Espanyol as Valverde just tries to gather the troops in this break and play and inspire them to something in the final knockings of this one. If you look at another replay of the goal, it's a delightful ball in by Romero. You can see Pierre Miller, the only player he has to aim for in the middle, and it's a really intelligent run from the striker just to get across his man. A lovely deft finish. And we have a minute to go. Athletic Bilbao a minute away from dropping points against relegation threatened Espanyol and allowing Sevilla to take chunks out of their lead are Atletico Bilbao. Sevilla, who at one point trailed by 2-0, they now lead by 3-2 and are now just only a point behind Bilbao outside the European places. Romero felt he was caught as he cleared the ball for Espanyol. Alvarez is under it for Bilbao. On the back line of Bilbao, hoisted away only as far as the Espanyol midfield in Pierre Miller. Surely he's offside as Garcia's found him round the corner. And yes, he is. 30 seconds to go. All eyes soon will be on the fourth official to see how much he's going to add on at the end of this contest. Meanwhile, though, Charles Piquel is going to come on. There's just some extra legs and energy in midfield. And making way will be Urco Gonzalez, who's put a real shift in that engine room for Espanyol. Five minutes of added time. 5 minutes for Espanyol to hang on. 5 minutes for Bilbao to find an equaliser. As Dimitrovic collapses on the ball inside his penalty area. Hoists it high with the drop kick. Far away from his own goal. Met by the head of Alvarez. Can't find a teammate. It's going to be out for a throw-in on halfway on the far side. The Espanyol players look dead on their feet. They have given absolutely everything. An Espanyol team who here can't buy a win. No win in their last 8 games at home. No win in 18 home and away. But this could be massive. Flicked on. And Espanyol are in. Espanyol are in for 2! And that seals it. Quique Garcia slots the ball home. 2 goals for Espanyol. A massive 3 points for the home side. And the wait is finally over. 18 games, 5 long months without the taste of victory. And Quique Garcia makes the point safe and makes sure that Espanyol are going to put breathing space between themselves and the relegation places. Manolo Gonzalez is in tears on the bench, the Espanyol head coach. That is what it means. His substitutions have paid dividends. 2 changes off the bench, 2 goals for Espanyol, and 3 precious points. Was through on goal. All his experience, the 36-year-old veteran makes sure that Espanyol will wait no further and wait no longer. And just look what it means. Tears, jubilation. So much emotion around this arena. So much hardship this fan base has had to endure. Espanyol 2, Athletic Bilbao 0. And a huge boost to their survival hopes at the foot of La Liga. A carnival atmosphere has just erupted inside the RCDE. A club that have been desperate for some sort of stability and a foothold in La Liga might just have secured their status at the top tier of Spanish football for another season. Quique being a nuisance again after firing them 2 goals in front up there and wins a free kick on halfway. And you can just sense a weight being lifted off this arena as the final whistle beckons. We've got a minute to play. But to the coaching staff, as they all share high fives, the fans who are chanting, they feel that the job is done. Espanyol, a shoestring budget in La Liga compared to other clubs in this top division. And no wonder Manolo Gonzalez is in floods of tears on the bench. This side hasn't been able to buy a win in 2026. everything has just seemed to go against them. Sevilla came from behind to beat them late on last time out, but they won't be denied these celebrations tonight. These celebrations will go on long into the darkness. Espanyol 15 seconds away from a historic win, a win that could well secure their status in La Liga as Bilbao come forward down the right-hand side. This place is fusing to erupt. You can feel the tension in the air just building up to one final rally, one final cry, but Bilbao have won themselves a free kick just shy of the corner of the penalty area. And so their celebrations will have to be put on ice, but they have a 2-goal cushion. Players in floods of tears on the bench waiting to burst onto the field. One of those is Roberto Fernandez. It's really hard to comprehend just the emotion around the arena tonight and just how much this win means to Espanyol. Bubbling around in the penalty area after the delivery, but it's swept away by Espanyol. And there is the full-time whistle. The wait is over. 18 games, 5 months, no longer. 3 precious points take Espanyol away from the relegation places and just give themselves a bit of breathing room. For the first time in what feels like an eternity, they go 3 points clear of the drop zone. Goals from Pere Miller and Quique Garcia off the bench has secured Espanyol's first win since December 2025, when they last beat Atletico Bilbao. They've repeated the feat again against the side from the Basque Country. It was Pere Miller who struck 20 minutes from time. Espanyol had to dig in and bite down on the gum shield at times to keep Bilbao at bay. But then Quique Garcia made the point safe, and the emotion erupts around the RCDE arena. Manolo Gonzalez, their head coach who has seen it all, in tears. It's been an awful 2026. This group of players had to show character, fight, determination, and dig deep within themselves to muster a performance tonight. But that's exactly what they've done. "12 defeats, 6 draws, 1 win." That is how the 2026 form sheet now reads for Espanyol. They pull 3 points away from the relegation places, and amazingly, within 2 points of Bilbao, just outside the European places. And with 2 games to go, the pressure is lifted significantly at this historic Spanish football club. The wait is over for Espanyol to taste the sweet senses of victory. 18 games, 5 months and no longer. They've beaten Bilbao by 2-0, and this fan base finally can celebrate. Espanyol 2, Atletico Bilbao 0. A huge step to survival for the home side. An emotional night that will go long into the darkness.